Beneath these tranquil waters lies a forgotten town, a community erased not just by time, but by violence and deliberate design. This is the story of Oscarville, Georgia, a thriving black community turned to ruins by racial hatred in 1912, and ultimately submerged under Lake Lanier in the 1950s. How did a town filled with life and promise vanish so completely? And why does its story still matter today? Oscarville was born out of resilience in the aftermath of the Civil War and Reconstruction. In the late 19th century, freedmen and women built a self-sustaining community here. They farmed the fertile land, established businesses, and built schools and churches, a testament to their determination and ingenuity. By the early 1900s, Oscarville stood as a beacon of black prosperity in Forsyth County. But in 1912, the peace of this community was shattered. The violence began with an accusation. A white woman claimed she was assaulted by black men. Despite a lack of evidence, the accusation ignited a wave of terror. Lynch mobs murdered several black residents, including Rob Edwards, who was brutally killed in front of a cheering crowd at the county courthouse. The violence escalated into riots. Homes were burned. Families were driven from their land, and nearly every black resident of Forsyth County was forced to flee for their lives. By 1920, Forsyth had become an all-white county, a status it maintained for decades. The people of Oscarville were not just displaced, they were erased. In the 1950s, the remnants of Oscarville faced another blow. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers constructed Lake Lanier, a massive reservoir that flooded over 56,000 acres, including the land where Oscarville once stood. Farmlands, churches, and cemeteries disappeared beneath the water, leaving little trace of the vibrant community that once thrived here. The creation of Lake Lanier symbolized more than just economic progress. For many, it represented the final erasure of black history in this region, a history already buried under decades of silence and shame. Historians like Dr. Patrick Phillips and Dr. Maurice Hobson have worked to uncover the truth behind Oscarville's destruction and Forsyth County's legacy of racial violence. Descendants of the displaced families continue to search for justice and recognition, their voices echoing across generations. The story of Oscarville is not just a local tragedy. It's a national reminder of how systemic racism uproots communities and erases histories. And yet it is also a story of resilience, a call to remember, to uncover, and to preserve the truths hidden beneath the surface. The waters of Lake Lanier may seem calm, but beneath them lies a powerful story, a story of loss, of survival, and of the ongoing fight for justice. Let us not allow Oscarville's history to remain submerged. To learn more about the history of drowned towns and depths of their stories, stay tuned to Drowned Towns playlist for more. Perhaps there is one closer to your livelihood than you're aware of. Together we can ensure these stories are never